Our ministry is called the Nathan Project. We are, I think, in New England, probably the largest or the largest set of groups acting to help men escape from the issue or the problem or the addiction of pornography. I think it's comfortable for me to say, and Annette, I have to be careful how I say this, that the importance of prayer is right here. But if we don't deal with the issue of pornography use and the addiction in the church, we won't be here. I won't put a time limit on it, but I guarantee you we won't have men to lead our church. Period. It's not a guess. If 50% of our men or more are using pornography in the church, and 35 or 40% of our pastors are, they find themselves disqualified. They make a decision in their own heart. I'm not able to lead this, or I shouldn't be doing that. I'm afraid to be up front because if it ever came out, what would happen to me? And we see that. You know, we see somebody that's the head of the largest evangelical association in America. When he went down, he took people with him. What the people who don't know Jesus Christ see is it's huge. But even the people that see him and watched him go down were disappointed. A couple of comments. I'm not big on throwing statistics at you, but there's one that, not a statistic, but something I saw just recently, and I have it in my new letter under Would You Believe? Google, Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, and Yahoo hold down the first 5 spots in website rankings from SimilarWeb, and they rank and look at everything that happens on the website, both in number and in topic. You can take a look at it someday, SimilarWeb. But the next 3 spots after those 5 were, and I'm going to say the names, but they were the 3 largest porn distributors and porn sites in America, or in the world, probably. The next 3, I think, were eBay, Twitter, Instagram, and then Craigslist, Netflix, Walmart. Those all came after porn sites. And I don't know about you, but I'm guessing that many of you thought that eBay and Twitter in particular would be much bigger than every porn site. But that just gives you an idea of the size. We're desensitized to porn and to what it means and to the sexual activity in total. Anybody here hear about Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, last week? I listened to sports radio. Now, don't even vilify me as I go out the door. We all have our vices. But it was impossible for me to listen and not seethe, not be angry. And that all I heard about was the danger to his reputation of what would happen to him, and never a mention of the women that were trafficked into that place that he went, where he experienced sexual pleasure for money. 0. Not one time was it mentioned. Even I deal with the lack of education, the lack of understanding, the lack of acknowledgement when it comes to the issue that we deal with. But that one was even bigger to me. And the reason that I think it hits home is that, and again, I can trot stats out if you want them, but the largest user by somewhere about 90%, somewhere around 90% of people that use prostitutes or abuse women or engage in trafficking in one way, shape, or form are men that use pornography. Period. End of story. It's not a discussion. It's not a maybe. It's not a kinda. Those are the numbers. And it could be 98% for all I know. And in the church, if we said, well, gosh, as much as 50% of our men, and I think it could be more, use pornography, and most all of them say they'd like to quit. If they could, they would, which means we probably have 45, 50% of our men in the church that are addicted to using pornography and they can't stop. If those 45 or 50 men that sit in those pews are also part of the 98% of men that use trafficked women, we have a problem in our church. And if 40% of our men are in that, our pastors are in that same position, we have a problem in our church. So what can you do? How can you help? There is a new tool that's not from us, but from a place called Kingdom Work Studios, called the Conquer series. It actually makes taking the subject matter of pornography, its use, what's going in our brains, how our brains are producing neurochemicals that are actually part of the addiction. You know, that this problem is neck up, not waist down, particularly for men. And if Dick will pass along my email address, my phone number, anything that you want to pass along to your different regions or churches or pastors or men individually, whomever, I'll take the calls, I'll get it done, and I'll help those men. 40, 45 groups across New England where, you know, men who are struggling can be at. They're closed, they're confidential, they have pastors, lawyers, doctors, plumbers, everybody under the sun is a part of those groups. And they're there partly because they're closed and they're confidential. It's a safe place for them to, in quotes, come out. And Dick, before you throw me off, I got one more comment. And it's worth it. There's a East African proverb that somebody shared with me. It says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This journey to get healthy needs to involve the whole church. Everybody in this room, not some. I'll come alongside. I'll meet you wherever you want. You want to talk about this in Berlin, New Hampshire. You want to talk about it on the Seacoast. Anywhere you invite me, I'll come, I'll share, I'll talk, I'll lay out a plan to help you get better. But just remember that proverb, you know. Want to go fast? Go. Want to go and get it done? Go together. Thank you, guys.
Amen. Amen.